Don't blink, it's your boy, and welcome to the video, welcome to another show. Guys are doing well on this 11 October 2024. We are filming Atlas Earth. We're filming the sunset, so we're doing two things at once. Why not do three? And answer some of the comments from my boy, Mr. Obscure Gravity. So if you don't follow him, please do. Dude is super kind. Dude has been a shard bearer for kindness and positivity on other people's channel, mine included. So yeah, super cool dude. Okay, so we're talking about Tokyo Ghoul, right? I was doing a recap of Tokyo Ghoul, and he was like, I never heard of Tokyo Ghoul. And I said, okay, well, if you want to check, because I personally think that Tokyo Ghoul is possibly the best anime, and will always be the best anime in my opinion. The shit anime is a great manga. And I was trying to convince him because he was like, yo, I'm looking for something. I'm looking for a new anime. So when I recommend Tokyo Ghoul, I always recommend this one. When I recommend anime, always recommend Tokyo Ghoul. This is my first video of the day, so you're gonna hear me misspeak, and that's okay. So here's a question. I'll have to check them out. You always inspire me to expand my horizon of anime. See? Super nice guy. So, why in my eyes Tokyo Ghoul is always gonna be perfection? Why in my eyes Tokyo Ghoul is always gonna be a masterpiece? Because in my opinion, Tokyo Ghoul is a masterpiece, but why? Why is it a masterpiece? Well, first of all, we're gonna do the pros. The pros. The cons. Anime sucks. That's about it. The pros now. The pros. The writer Ishida Uryu. No, that's a character from Bleach. I don't remember his name. I know it's Ishida something. Tokyo Ghoul. The best thing about Tokyo Ghoul is there's Tokyo Ghoul Normal, and there's a sequel, Tokyo Ghoul Re. So the best thing about Tokyo Ghoul is that it's 323 chapters. So super readable. Just to let you guys know, Naruto is 700 plus. So yeah, One Piece is 1,000. Dragon Ball is about, I want to say Dragon Ball is about 250 something. So pretty close to Dragon Ball. So super readable, about 2-3 weeks. What I respect the writer about the most, and the writer, Tokyo Ghoul is very dark. So when you read Tokyo Ghoul and it's pretty dark, you're like, okay, well, the guy who wrote this is pretty dark. Now, little fun fact: the writer of Tokyo Ghoul fell into a depression. And when you look at Tokyo Ghoul Re, which is a sequel, when you look at the end, there's the drawing is not really nice. That's because he fell into depression and he didn't feel the energy or the need to do something. What is cool about that? What is really cool about that is that he still continued. And there's a lot of anime, not to talk shit, but there's a lot of anime out there that aren't finished and will never be finished. You got G.R.R. Martin, who created one of um, the best book and the best series of books with the Game of Thrones series, and it's not finished. And they've been waiting for 20 plus years. We got Berserk, we've been waiting for 20 plus years. We got Hunter x Hunter, that's not finished, right? But Tokyo Ghoul, they finished. Now, let's focus on the video itself. Why do I love Tokyo Ghoul? Tokyo Ghoul is a super cool thing. Tokyo Ghoul is the best anime, once again, because it's short, but it is the story. See, Tokyo Ghoul want to sell itself as a horror manga. Now, is Tokyo Ghoul scary? No. I've been reading the comics of Walking Dead, and I believe the comics of Walking Dead is scarier. Now, the scary thing about Tokyo Ghoul is the universe in itself. Now, what is the universe? The universe is human and ghoul. What are ghouls? Ghouls are creature that are eating human, and the whole time they want you to believe that the ghouls are the bad guy, but the ghouls in themselves are two picture of society, because the anime and manga is pretty close to society in itself. The ghouls are supposed to represent another race, and the human are kind of the good race, and the animals, the ghouls are animals. For example, you think that they're hunting human, but most of them are pacific. You think that they're monster, but most of them are nicer than human. And the main character, right? As a human, okay, so the main character being Ken Kaneki, wins the lottery and was born a human, but then becomes a ghoul, and he has to face the reality of ghoul. As a human, Ken has one friend. Nobody gave a shit about Ken. As a ghoul, he has a family. As a human, he was a normal student. And you know what's insane about Ken Kaneki? We know that he's a student, but we don't know what he was studying in. We know that he was going to school, but he wasn't going to clubs, which means he didn't care. As a goal, in about 5 chapters, he's working for a company, and that company is helping other ghouls. So it's kind of cool. Also, why is Tokyo Ghoul so cool? Is because once again you got human, you got ghouls, and the human there's the dove, and the ghoul there's Ken. Okay, so the ghouls, most ghouls do not want to eat human, but some of them wants to eat human. So in the success of ghouls, there's some bad ghouls, there's some good ghouls, if you will, and the dove, which are hunting ghouls. There's a good dove and there's a bad dove. So the bad doves are who? The bad dove who are willing to kill children or are willing to kill elderly ghoul just because. And there's a good one of my favorite characters is Amon. So Amon is fresh out of the academy. Amon is the best of his class. Amon has lost a lot of his friend, a lot of his co-worker to did you hear that? Crazy. A lot of his co-worker to the ghouls, right? And Amon finally understand that ghouls are not all evil. And if you picture the ghoul, the human, as elite, right? Amon trying to understand that the ghouls are not all bad is making him. He gets shot. He gets like, yo, you're fucking stupid. You're fucking crazy. Get out of here. And to me, this is precious because the one person that saw outside of the race, that saw outside of the appearance, that saw outside of perceived perception being ghouls or monster. And it's nice because the whole book, they're showing humanity, they're showing manners, they're showing that they're polite, that they're showing that they're noble, they're showing that they make so much effort to blend in society. Just they don't get killed because they have to. It's beautiful. Another thing, the human reality, the reason to hate the ghoul, there's nothing that unites like a common enemy. So the human are using the ghoul as an excuse to not war. You don't see one war in Tokyo Ghoul. Right? Now, of course, it's based in Tokyo. I don't think Tokyo would go against Tokyo in a fight, but you never know. One of the other thing that I love the character interaction. See, Ken Kaneki is this very flawed person. Ken Kaneki, as a main character, is my favorite. I got a tattoo of him. I love him more than Naruto. I love him more than Bleach. Than Ishigo. I love him more than Luffy. Why? Because Ken Kaneki is the picture perfect victim. Picture perfect. He gets abused. He gets intimidated. He gets bullied. Then he becomes a ghoul, and he still gets bullied. And then Ken Kaneki is the picture perfect of losing control. He loses control because he wants to help. So he lets the ghoul side of him, which is the evil side of him, take over so he can protect. But the best thing about Ken is that he is willing to sacrifice his whole life to get stronger, to repair those flaws. The picture perfect of Ken, which is there's so many version of Ken, and what is really cool is all of those versions are helping Ken mature. Ken start as this student who only wants a date, which is pretty cool, and then he ends up as this hero, as his father, who spent his whole life helping the ghouls and the human comes along together. Now, the last thing about Tokyo Ghoul and why it would always be is that it's such a precious, such a precious, almost picture perfect society. Again, the inequality between the ghouls and the human. How the whole time we're perceiving the ghouls to be mean, but the ghouls are being hunted down, and the reality is the ghouls. There's a lot less ghouls than there's human, and since the very beginning, if the dove knew who the ghoul was, the ghoul wouldn't last a day. See, we're talking about a decisive genocide of ghouls, and for what reason? For a common enemy. And it comes to show the perfect picture. You have a chance to cohabit with a species, and of course species there's bad guys, but if you look at the good guys, what they're doing, they're going to unalive ground, people who unalive themselves, and they're picking up the meat. First of all, you don't have to clean a mess. Second of all, it is better for the family not to mourn their death, and that's it. So Tokyo Ghoul is my best. I'll do part 2 of this because it's so important.